Developing overnight, two longtime Fox News contributors have quit in protest over Tucker Carlson trying to rewrite history in his so-called documentary on the January 6th insurrection. Steve Hayes and Jonah Goldberg write, quote, "The special is presented in the style of an expose, a hard-hitting piece of investigative journalism. In reality, it is a collection of incoherent conspiracy mongering, riddled with factual inaccuracy, half-truths, deceptive imagery, and damning omissions. The release of Patriot Purge, that's the name of the special, wasn't an isolated incident. It was merely the most egregious example of a long-standing trend. With the release of Patriot Purge, we felt we could no longer do right as we see it and remain at Fox News."
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jackson White, co-founder and chief of content at Politiscope, and thank you for tuning in again today and joining us at TYT. Now, Steve Hayes and Jonah Goldberg, two longtime participants in Fox News, quit recently, as we just saw, because of the new segment coming out, Patriot Purge. Now, in this next clip that we look at, we're going to see a little bit of how Tucker Carlson is bringing that to light to the public. But it's going to be really important for us to touch on the fact that Fox News has been spreading misinformation, has been poisoning the mind of the public, specifically the right wing and loyal voters to the Republican Party, and pushing the country ever further to the right ever since it was founded. That's literally why it was founded, to be a propaganda outlet for the Republican Party. And over time, we're all old enough to have seen how things have just continued to push further and further and further to the right. So let's take a look at this next clip about how Tucker Carlson is bringing this to the public.
So FBI operatives were organizing the attack on the Capitol on January 6th, according to government documents. And those two are not alone. In all, Revolver News reported that there are, quote, upwards of 20 unindicted co-conspirators in the Oath Keeper indictments, all playing various roles in the conspiracy, who have not been charged for virtually the exact same activities, and in some cases, much, much more severe activities, as those named alongside them in the indictments. Huh? So it turns out that this white supremacist insurrection was, again, by the government's own admission in these documents, organized at least in part by government agents.
Now, if you ask me, and I'm sure that this isn't very difficult to agree with, Patriot Purge is nothing new. Fox News has been doing this for years and years, my entire life, okay? I'm going to be 30 in a couple of months. I turned 30 in January. And ever since I could ever think about Fox News, all they've done is spread lies, misinformation. And, you know, before I really got deep into politics, even back then, like I always noticed, like, oh, that's that crazy racist. They always be having those crazy old white people on there talking that, you know what I'm saying? And that's how people view it who aren't even in politics, because we know who consumes it mostly. You know, older, right-wing, loyal Republican voters who come from an era where racism and segregation was the thing. You know what I'm saying? That was the thing. And the further time goes along in their view, more and more of what they view as rightfully theirs is being taken from them. And Patriot Purge is no different. You know, it's the whole thing about all the brown people and all the government. Everyone's against us because we're white, and, you know, we're supposed to be on top just because everyone's against us. Everyone's coming to take our stuff. So, again, I guess it could, you know, it's a welcome look, I guess, that, you know, these two gentlemen left Fox. But again, you do it now, you know, how much does it really mean? So, you know, leave your thoughts in the comments, in the YouTube comments down. What do you think about this? Because, again, if you ask me, it's a little bit of a classic case of too little, too late.